Look, I know Space Marine 2 is in its early access right now, but before getting into that next week when it, fully releases and isn't $90, I wanted to play Space Marine to get ready for it. And these are kind of some of my thoughts on that. With Space Marine 2 coming out, I wanted to dive into the original because I played it a bit when it came out 12 years ago, but I never finished it. So I played it all the way through on hard. I enjoyed the game, and there are things that I want to see come back with Space Marine 2, but there's also some stuff I really want changed. And so we're clear on something really quick. This is just my opinion, and I haven't really watched any of the Space Marine 2 stuff that's been like constantly released over the past couple of months because I like to, go in with an open mind. I watched the announcement trailer and I watched the first gameplay trailer, and that's about it. So here's what I'm looking forward to in Space Marine 2 and hoping it comes back, and what I think needs to be changed. First thing I hope they bring back is the heaviness of the game's weapons and sound effects. Captain Titus's weapons, they have a heavy feel to them. The sounds of the bolters firing gives them that heavy feel that you're looking for in a Warhammer 40k game. I don't really think it's as good as bolt gun sound effects, but it adds a lot to the game's feel. And the melee weapons, I really enjoyed using. I love hearing the revving of the chainsword as you cut down enemies, the slicing of the power axe as you cut through bodies, and the thunderous boom of a thunderhammer crushing skulls. It's just fantastic. I really want this heaviness to make a return, and I hope it'll be amped up even more. I want stuff to feel like I'm getting punched in the chest every time I fire a shot. That's the heaviness that I kind of want. There is something, though, that I really want changed, and I really hope they do. And that's the level design of the game. The level design of Space Marine is outdated and boring. Yes, I know the game's from 12 years ago, so it kind of figures, right? There's a lot of sections where it's run down the corridor, get to the arena, fight a few waves of enemies, then repeat. It is an old school way of designing encounters. It's proven, and it's a working formula for games. But I always find it kind of boring if that's all you're doing. And a lot of these arenas, they don't have a lot of elevation and stuff to it. And with Space Marine, it just happens so often. It's always like this section. Sure, there's parts that break it up, like the jump pack sections or the one on rails turret section, but that's just a small part of a mission. I'm hoping they have some new level designs that use interesting mechanics to advance through them, or they use those proven designs from the first one but in a more interesting way, so it doesn't feel like you're just fighting in an arena and that's it. Something that I hope they do bring back is that horde feeling, which I think it's going to with the Tyranids. It's just so much fun cutting through enemies with a variety of weaponry, just laying waste to a horde of enemies with the heavy bolter, or picking off rocket launchers with a sniper just feels good. Watching those skulls explode it's just good. And with even more detail with the new engine, I think it's going to be fantastic looking. Maybe. And then, using your melee weapon to slice or bash your way through the enemies charging at you is just satisfying. I hope they improve the Horde's AI so that you feel like you're being overwhelmed by Tyranids. Unlike in Space Marine 1, where I never really felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of enemies. And speaking of enemies and combat, there is something I don't want back there. I don't want the difficulty spike that you have going from orcs to chaos demons. The game isn't insanely hard. I think I beat it in 7 or 8 hours, but there is a notable difference between facing the orcs and facing the chaos demons and chaos space marines. Orcs are easy as shit to kill. Even their big guys are easy to kill because they're just bullet sponges that charge at you. That's it. You can easily break them and go and just execute them. It's that easy. Then you get to the Chaos Space Marines about halfway through the game, which have a variety of different guns, but mostly use launchers that cause splash damage and can quickly kill you on hard. Plus they have a shield that you have to chew through to kill them, but if you don't execute them within a few seconds, they start to shoot at you again and can easily fuck up your day if you're trying to charge them to get that execution. I'd like to see a ramping difficulty this time where Tyranids start to evolve and become harder to kill before introducing the second enemy faction into the fray. And the last thing I want to touch on is I want to know where the story is going to go. Like I'm very interested in where the story's going. I guess spoilers for a 12-year-old game. I want to know what happens after Tidus is taken by the Inquisition at the end of the game. I'm just really curious where the story will pick up in Space Marine 2. Is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? Like, where is it coming in? And those are all the things that I'm hoping to see either brought back or changed in Space Marine 2. This is a bit different from my normal content because it's a 12-year-old game. I don't think I need to do a first impressions video after this long, right? But what I will be doing a first impressions video is on Space Marine 2. Once that releases next week. At least at the time of recording, it's next week without pre-order. But yeah, if you have played Space Marine, tell me what your thoughts are on it. And are you looking forward to Space Marine 2, or like what aspects are you looking forward to in Space Marine 2? If you've made it all the way here, please do the algorithm stuff to help grow the channel. You know, like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that stuff. But most importantly, I hope you have a royal day or a royal night, whatever it is for you right now.